OK, what an incredible matchday 6 we've just had here. So, Inter Miami went into their game with Porto needing a result. So, who would step up to be the match winner? I'll give you one guess.
Well, here we go then, match 18 of the FIFA Club World Cup. It's coming to you live from the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Well, we're going to go back to VAR on that penalty.
Number 32 commit foul with tripping. Final decision is penalty kick.
Penalty to Porto. Samu Antihawa steps up. Scores!
Fantastic start from Porto.
There's the overlap. Back inside! Segovia! Messi, Suarez. Messi goes down to grounds. Free kick in a really dangerous area for Inter Miami. You know, Messi! It's marvellous! It's magical! It's Messi! Who else would it be? And it's more history written for the host side in the FIFA Club World Cup.
Death, taxes and Lionel Messi. Inevitable stuff. Let's see what's being said about that Messi goal and Inter Miami's performance on socials. Of course, you can get involved. You can hashtag #ThePressCWC. And people are talking, understandably, about Lionel Messi and that free kick. So many talking points, but this was a big one. Let's get XG in there early doors to calm down Cormac. 0.08 XG. Lionel Messi has arrived at the Club World Cup. Next up, simply Leo Messi. No hype needed, no comparisons required, just brilliance, elegance and records rewritten again and again. The GOAT. And David Beckham, he's piped up, but he would, wouldn't he? He's the owner of Inter Miami, but still it's valid. No one like him. Beckham knows we're witnessing something football may never see again. There's only one Leo Messi. Fantastic stuff. OK. So I feared for Inter Miami, I've got to be honest, in this one, because they were incredibly open against Al Ahly. Let's have a look at the tactics board here. And in that first game, you can see this is how they kind of set up. And certainly when they lost the ball, they were just so open. And something needed to change. And I thought against Porto, it might be difficult for them because there isn't that outrageous amount of physicality when you've got lights of Busquets and Suarez and Messi in this team. But what they did for this game, they got compact. They got really compact. A couple of changes made, and they had that 4-4-2 mid-block. But not just that, they were really assertive with their play. We can show you exactly what I'm talking about. First of all, with Al Ahly, and it was in transition that I thought they might get hurt today. And this is from that game here against Al Ahly. And you can see 7 minutes into the tournament, just one player back. That Trezeguet on that left-hand side, we'll talk about him a little bit later on. And it's one where they were just all at sea, really. And I think against a better team, which Porto we would expect to be, we thought that they would take chances like this and it could be a tough time. But look at this. This is from the game today. So much more tenacity. Yes, they lose the ball, but in transition, snapping in. But even if they do elude that, they're still able to delay by having those three players back. And the whole team was just a bit more switched on, worked just that little bit harder, were a bit more assertive, and they were able to delay. This is just about 5 or 6 seconds later, and you can see now, nice and compact, making life difficult for a Porto side that had a few moments, but Inter Miami kept them at bay overall. I thought they did really well. And you can see the whole team moving over to that other side of the pitch. You've got Suarez pressing on the left-hand side as well. Really great stuff from them. But Porto had their own shape. And I always have this phrase, two things can be true. And the Porto shape kind of worked at times, but Inter Miami was also able to keep them at bay. Talk us about Porto and their shape.
Yeah, Anselmi is a really well-regarded young manager, and Porto have been going through a little bit of a transition in recent years, so they came third in the Portuguese league this season, but their shape, this 3-2-4-1 that we see, is actually the same shape that Amorim is trying to implement with Man United this season and is having some difficulty. But we can see the main dangers of a system like this with these switches in play, and then there's always these runs from the inside forwards into the half space, and they do this from a deep position like we saw there, but they want to do it all over the pitch. So we can see, for example, in this clip here, they are much further up in the pitch. You still have 5 players on the defensive line. And again, there's so much space on the opposite flank for the wing-back to receive the ball. And there's always an inside forward, there's always a midfielder that's dragging away the defender and is giving time for the cross. And in this case, it's actually the right centre-back that gets all the way forward to deliver the ball. And they nearly get a goal.
Yeah, and as I said, in terms of two things being true, they did create openings, but you had enough bodies for Inter Miami to shut them out. And it's one where it's not going to be perfect for Inter Miami because they don't have that physicality overall. So you've got to do the best you can, and they certainly did. And then you might decide to rely on a bit of quality. And there was one pairing, we've seen it through the years, they're still enjoying themselves playing together. They nearly rolled back the years, but sadly the years have rolled on. That partnership between Messi and Suarez was there to see today. Messi was great, wasn't it?
Definitely, and you can see they probably can find each other with their eyes closed. They've been so used to playing with each other. They're great friends off the pitch as well. You see the ball there from Messi, and again, probably a Suarez of 3 or 4 years ago scores this one, and again, this one is just a little bit late, and it's enough for the goalkeeper to come up. But Messi's genius is still there, certainly in terms of passing and vision. Of course, he can't dribble like he used to. He can't run like he used to with the ball.
That's all right, isn't it?
I think that's the only dribble he did.
Okay, fair enough.
But still, he's there. He just needs a lot of running people, offering options and solutions around him. And Suarez, unfortunately, is not, again, there. You would expect Suarez to score this, and he's a little bit late.
This replay's great, though, isn't it, Julian? Because look at his arm. He's sort of ready. The awareness to hold off that player, but also play that pass. And I think, yeah, Suarez a couple of years ago, he makes that, but not today. But you can see them doing bits. But this is the moment. Oh, good Lord, that's a gorgeous free kick.
2 weeks, 38 in 2 weeks.
38 in 2 weeks. And add another 30, I'll do the maths quickly, 68 free kicks. That's the most free kicks. Third most free kicks. And, I mean, you wouldn't bet against him going all the way. He is so clutch in those moments, isn't he?
He always shows up in moments when you need him. He's always ready. And today, maybe he didn't have too many opportunities playing from a deeper position, but when you get a free kick, you know you can rely on him.
Yeah. In terms of question marks going into this, because I think it was an underwhelming first game, wasn't it? It was disappointing overall. And you did feel like it was going to have to be Lionel Messi to carry them. The question then becomes, when he's nearly 38, can he still do it? Do you still think we've got the best Messi? Do you think he's dropped off a touch?
Yeah, a little bit still. And again,
he's just got the match winner. It's just been the difference.
But amazing. But we saw limitations when he was still in Europe, for example, with PSG, where when the level of the opposition got higher and better, then he struggled, and he still relies a lot on people around him, and there's not that much talent really in this Inter Miami, so at times he feels a little bit isolated as the genius that he is.
I agree. I think that's the key point. 2 key passes for Messi in this one. Would have been 4. We've just shown you those other chances. If you've got maybe a striker or Luis Suarez who's a couple of years younger, then he's still genius, isn't he? Anyway, it's not just us, or me in particular, who has lost my mind over that free kick, but it was a free kick heard around the world.
Messi! Bang! It's marvellous! It's magical! It's Messi! Messi!
Allá va Messi, 53,5, golpea Messi.
Por favor.
Leon è zurda, golazo!
Lionel Messi! Da läuft einfach an der Ziege rum.
Un génie reste un génie! Même à 37 ans! Léon Messi délicieux!
So, we might need a translation for one of them. I'm not very good at languages. So, Julian, the French commentary there, poetry as ever. What was it?
Yeah, a genius will always be a genius, even at 37. And the one from Taiwan was... No, I'm kidding.
Wow, I was in shock. Oh, my word. OK, so, brilliant stuff. How can I recover? Here we go. So, Brandon Smith was commentating on